This runner spawns into the world with 41 levels already. Now that's quite suspicious. He then runs over to this house which doesn't even have a chest normally, and he finds an absurd amount of obsidian and iron, and notice that there is no achievement for the obsidian, the iron pickaxe and the iron ingots, meaning this runner went into the world beforehand and placed those in. After looting that house, this runner approaches a stack of hay bales which is large enough to cure world hunger, but he completely blows past that to enter a house to find some bread and a hoe. Now this type of house doesn't have any chest or crafting table in it, which is a bit weird. Now the runner has enough bread to feed a family of 18. He approaches some gravel and mines some flint, and then approaches a hole which suspiciously looks like it's had a nether portal in, and guess what? He builds another portal in this little hole. What a surprise, I wonder why he's built it there. Now if it wasn't suspicious or obvious enough, as when this player enters the nether there is a clear cobblestone path which they jump onto and run along, and they eventually find themselves in a bastion, and once again they don't get the advancement for this, and when they open up the chest there is everything their heart could desire, full of impossible loot, full armor, loads more blaze rods, loads of obsidian, just impossible loot. After this runner is geared up, he runs back along this path and then takes a sharp right turn following the cobblestone to find an already built nether portal which is ready for him to probably take him to the end portal. So yeah, not obvious at all, not planned, you know, just pure skill. Now the runner's back in the overworld, they jump in this hole, and I've slowed it down enough to show you that this is an already lit portal, but it's not actually in the stronghold, it's just a random hole in the ground. And when they go into the end dragon is already on like 2% health. I don't know why, that seems to be a trend with these fake speedruns. The runner then waits for the ender dragon to perch, and then when it does, it can literally swing at it once or twice, and it is dead. And that is the speedrun all done in less than 4 minutes. Now for this run, I'd just give it a 3 out of 10. It's not great at all, clearly fake, and yeah, it's just a poor world, just don't like it. It's also important to note that when the runner spawns back into the overworld, they're not in the village anymore, they're just in a random swamp, and they decide to show the seed anyway so they can get exposed, so thanks runner, you were great. This second run starts off as you'd expect. The runner takes in the seed and the area around them, and this one's going to be a little bit slower because it's on mobile, and they do regular kind of Minecraft things. They start by punching this tree and killing a sheep, but the run starts to get a little bit weird when they start to dig this hole here. So we're just going to watch them dig down to presumably get some stone just to improve their tools. Mining dirt with a pickaxe is a bold choice. But when they get down to a certain level, they then decide to place the brown wall above them. Then there's a jump in the video where the pickaxe gets upgraded to iron, and there's a stack of 64 diamond ore. The runner then does find some actual diamond ore in the hole that they've dug. A little bit weird considering they've dug maybe 7 blocks down at this point, and they do find a massive vein which is going to get them set up nicely for this run. There's another cut in the video where the 64 diamond ore turns into the 14 diamonds that the runner actually mined. I presume that was him trying to get rid of the evidence of what he placed before, but it's too late, we've all seen it now. Whatever, you're guilty. This runner then runs off into the distance into the plains biome, and just take note of the surrounding area. There's nothing weird, it's just a normal plains biome, but just wait for it. So the next strategy is to build up a little tower. Now he hasn't done this to scout the area and just see what's around him. They've done this to purely place a crafting table on top and make a helmet and chest plate. And then once they've crafted that, they just decide to mine the tower. That's it, I don't know why they didn't just do that on the ground, whatever. But you're about to see one of the worst splices in this run. So you'll notice that the 2 raw mutton disappears, they climb up the hill, and then a nether portal, which is fully lit, suddenly appears. When they go over and open a chest, they see a full set of netherite armor, and funnily enough blaze rods to get 16 eyes of ender. You see a very excited wiggle of their touchscreen, I guess, whatever. But they immediately take off the diamond armor they crafted and put the netherite armor on, and then they take a trip to the nether. I lied to you, they don't actually take a trip to the nether, it's a fake speedrun, why would they? They run into these leaves and suddenly 16 ender pearls appear in their inventory. This runner makes the Eyes of Ender and decides to throw 3 of them all at once. Don't know why, maybe it was just a misinput, just pressing the phone screen too much. Who knows, but they're suddenly out of, Eyes of Ender. I don't know where they're gone, but now they've only got 9. I wonder how they'll overcome this. And how they actually overcome this is by mining these leaves. And what's that in the corner? Is that an end portal just out in the open perfectly that just needs 3 eyes in? Oh my god, what is the chance of that? And a pink sheep as well. This dude is just so lucky. I can't believe. Oh, and he's punching the pink sheep. Please don't kill the pink sheep. No, no, ah! The runner then just goes into the end. He uses some basalt he got from somewhere, and yeah, it ends. 854 world record. This gets a 0. He killed the pink sheep. There was no need. 0 out of 10. Terrible speedrun. This run gets off to a great start. We can see there's 7 levels and they set their own game mode to survival mode. They run over to the first house that has a chest in, which doesn't normally, and find the best loot ever. Full armor, the end portal frames, Eyes of Enders, splash potions of healing, everything this runner could ever need to succeed. This runner then builds their nether portal, even though they don't have to, they can just go straight to the end. They use a healing potion for some reason as well. I really don't understand what's going on. But if you notice, there's no flint and steel or no way to get to the nether. So what do? Well, what they do is stand up next to the obsidian. They actually make quite a good splice, other than the fact that it says set own game mode to survival mode. If they would have waited a second, that probably would have kind of worked. But there's now a flint and steel in their inventory, and they've spawned straight in a bastion. They don't stay here long, they just kind of investigate and nah, I'm out of here. I don't need this, I've got my end portal frames and my Eyes of Ender. And that's what they do, they get that all prepared and they build their end portal. Now the end of the run is so funny, it's just I can do this all in one go. So there's a obvious splice where their 3 oak log turn into a netherite pickaxe, and you can also see the set to creative and set to survival. They mine a few blocks to go to the main end island, but then there's a cut until you see killed ender dragon. They then put themselves in survival mode and claim that, they beat the game and got a new world record. They jump in a portal, and that is the run complete. And I'm going to give this run a 6.4 out of 10. They had the best chests out of anyone today, they had the quickest run, and they had the best luck. So yeah, they deserve to get the best score of the day. Not a perfect run, but still, I'm going to give this a 6.4 out of 10.